Yes.
Everybody who's going to show up.
We could start now,
So,
Sayadaw.
okay. I wish you happiness and safety, long life. I also wish you deep wisdom and the ability to go with all the life's challenge. And now let's start our chapter 11, psychophysical disorders. Actually, this topic is intended be to teach on April 25, but we make good progress. In the psychophysical disorder, chapter 11, I hope you have already run through the pages. And these pages, everything is briefly mentioned about the role of the mind over the body and the body's role in existence. All living beings, except invisible smaller creature, have two components. One is the visible body, and the other is the mind or the spirit. Both mind and body coordinate each other as long as a person is alive. In everyday situations, in everyday experience, the mind is the chief dominant force. That's why in Buddhist texts, it is greatly emphasized to improve the mind, to train the mind, to study the mind. Improving and training the mind is called bhavana. Bhavana is Pali term. It means meditation. Sometimes it's referred to as karma thana. Karma means walk. Thana means shop, workshop. We need to have the mental workshop and mental development in order to have a good mind, good mental states. Without a mental training and without undergoing mental workshop, a specific type of mental workshop, and life will be not livable because it has a lot of challenge, a lot of the problems which are associated with the everyday life. Even nowadays, you see the big problems happening all over the world through the infectious disease, highly contagious, with no known definite cure. So the whole world is very scary of this virus. Um, we don't know what is the triggering cause of this infectious disease. It is an infection from the animal, or it is just only the mutation of an already existing virus. We don't know. But the whole world is now going through a big challenge, and sometimes really sad. And it is really shocking to see all this unbelievable scenario uh, going on around the world. In this course, we are going to study about the mind-body disorder. In the chapter title, we use the term psychophysical disorder. The mind is the chief dominant force, I have already explained. Because it is such a dominant force, it is a determinant factor in making life livable, in making life more suffering. But both are very interrelated and interdependent. And also, we are living a relative life. We are related to our surroundings. We cannot remain isolated, even though we are in lockdown, even though we're trying to isolate ourselves. We have to depend on atmosphere for the, every second fresh breath. We have to depend on in social environment for our daily interaction, necessary, compulsory interaction. Even though we are isolated, we always related to outside things, outside environments, and outside people, even though we may be isolated. This clearly shows that our existence, our life is not only played experience in our body and mind, it is also uh, connected with the external society, external environment. That's why our life is very much precarious and vulnerable to every condition. If something goes wrong, and not only in our body and mind, in environment. In this case, in this COVID virus case, in this present situation, we are all in suffering. We all suffer because we are related. So we cannot remain completely cut off from outside society, even though we can remain isolated for a certain period of time. Once we understand this, we have to take care of ourselves, and we have to take care of our environment. We have to take care of our bodies and our mind. This is a very balanced enlightened attitudes regarding how we should take care of our life. In this chapter, you study and that everybody can be summed up only in two components, just body and mind. There's nothing else, nothing more, nothing less. Only body and mind. Even though we used to refer to by using different names and different kind of identifiers, actual components which made up our life is only the body and mind. In this case, the mind is just only a mind, a spiritual element without any kind of identity. It is not American mind. It is not an Asian mind. It is not European mind. It is the mind, spiritual element of the universe. It's a universal element which Buddha has said. Buddha has said that there are basically 6 elements of the world, 6 elements of the universe. The first one is earthly element. Earthly element is solid and gross, which can be seen, which is tangible. And, and the second element is called the watery element. It's called the apo, but in we, even though we translate it as a watery element, actually it refers to all the fluid and moisture condition. And then the third one is heat. Heat is part of our existence. Inside your body, we have the heat. By means of it, we digest the food. By means of it, we remain warm. So this is the third element. The fourth element is called the airy element. Airy elements can be found both inside and outside. Now, all these 4 elements can be found both inside our body and outside our body. So airy element is that which makes us active, vibrant. Even now you can see and you can hear the sound, the voice coming up from my body. This is generated through the air, pushing out the air into the vocal cord by my mind, a desire to speak, a desire to sound out. So the air is very important, one important element. Altogether, we have the 4 physical elements. Number 5 element is called the space. In Buddhist text, even though space is intangible, it is counted as matter. Uh, intangible counter which has no boundary, which has no border, which has no delineation, and the space is the fifth element. It is the base of everything. It is the base of every matter. Why? Because the matter occupies the space. This is not said by me. This is said by the Buddha in Buddhist text. Space is the first component, and matter comes up and takes occupying the space. So the space is number fifth element. Now number 6 is consciousness. Consciousness is number 6 element. Altogether, there are 6 elements in the whole universe and other countless universe of the world, which are located in the boundless infinite space. That is basic Buddhist teaching regarding how the matter occupying the space, how life and power of life exists and composed of. Once you understand these kind of basic elementary teachings of the Buddha, um, you will you will understand easily that we are composed of two things physically. One is the mind, one is the body. By the mind, we feel alive, we experience, we feel happy, we feel unhappy, we feel worry, we feel joy, etc. With the body, we live this life, this physical life. In the body, we may have the different kind of various parts, various cellular activities, but it's only material states. So whenever any kind of imbalance, physical imbalance or mental imbalance happen, we used to refer to as disease. Bodily imbalance or imbalance physical condition which are happening inside the body cause physical disease. Spiritual imbalance such as emotion, uncontrollable emotion, once they take hold, once they've been overwhelmed, it becomes mental disease. In today's world, there are a lot of mental disease. As I'm not coming from the medical profession, I cannot I cannot give a complete term of mental disease. In this chapter, you only study a few, some of the mental disease. Okay, now let's turn to next page. Turn to next page. You have already, I'm sure you have already run through this mind. Okay, the nature of mind. Let's stop here. The nature of the mind. The nature of mind is very important. Now, I want to explain this because this is a very simple and easy to understand said by Buddha more than 25 centuries ago. And the nature of the mind, said Buddha, is very volatile and very hyperactive and naturally restless. It becomes restless when it comes in contact with the external object and stimulation through the physical sense of eye, ear, nose, tongue, and body. Even if when there's no external stimulation, the mind by itself can remain active except in the moment of deep sleep, as it can move on anywhere it wants without any border or any constraint. Now, let me explain so that you can understand clearly. Our body is compared in Buddhist to a house. A house with 6 doors. Please stop here. Don't move. Don't move this page because I need to explain. 6 doors. 6 doors are 5 physical doors, 1 immaterial door. The first door is I. And the second door is ear. The third door is nose. And the fourth door is tongue. The fifth door is body. The sixth door is the mind itself, or the conscious, or the spirit itself. In the physical medical science and in the physics, in the anatomy, there is only the five senses: eye, ear, nose, and tongue and body. Seeing, hearing, and smelling, tasting, and touching senses only. In Buddhist text, uh, there are six because it includes the mind. So through these six doors, the action and interaction of the mind happen. When a person practices meditation, he has to use some sort of the restraining key. Let's say the word use key. You have to lock. You have to keep your doors locked. Eye, ear, nose, tongue, body. These are five physical doors. It is actually difficult, except the eye and the tongue to lock. For example, the eye you can keep your eye closed. Ear you can put ear plugs. The nose you cannot. And tongue, because you are not eating during the meditation, it's okay. The body, not possible to lock. But you have to use mindfulness as the key, as the spiritual key. This mindfulness get is used as the key for the mind. And mindfulness itself become the mental key. So these are a little bit, maybe a little bit complex technical explanation, but it's very simple once you understand that. So altogether, six doors of the senses through five bodily physical doors. Through the ear, seeing, and the seeing consciousness arise. Through the ear, hearing consciousness arise. Through the nose, smell consciousness arise. The ability to differentiate between good smell and bad smell. Through the tongue, especially when you are consuming your breakfast or lunch or the food or drinking, you can feel the taste. So through the body, you have the sensation. Even when you are meditating, you have the sensation. You cannot keep the body locked. When you are going out into the cold weather or into the hot weather, you feel cold and warm. You feel cold sensation, warm sensation. If you go in, if you are hit with some sort of the prickly thorn brush or something, you got a prickly sensation. So body is a very open space. You cannot keep it locked. Only through mindfulness meditation you can use it. How you can going to control your emotion and your mental reactions. And through the mind, it's much more difficult. The mind is a very big space, very big space, a millionaire's property. A millionaire's 1,000 acres property or 100,000 acres property. He cannot fence all the whole mountain, the whole property, because it's too big and too wide. The mind is like that. It is also compared to big, powerful satellite dish, which can receive the signal from every parts of the world. The mind is like that, very powerful. So now let me explain what Buddha has said regarding the nature of the mind. You see the Pali word, the Dunikata Luno, Yatagama Nipatino, Chaitasa Dhammatosaru, Chaitan Dandan Sukhawa. Now the first word, Dunikasa. Donikasa means do, difficult. Nika, to manage. Sa means off. Or the mind, which is difficult to manage. Lahu no. Lahu means so fast. No means off. The mind which used to arise and pass so fast, rapid succession. Yatha kama nipati no. Yatha kama everywhere. And nipati for and the mind which can fall anywhere it wants. So you have the three characteristics. What Buddha mentioned. Donikata characteristic. It means that difficult to manage. This is the mind's fast nature. Lahuno means very fast and very speedy in the way it arises and passes, like a very high energy subatomic particle, much quicker than those kind of atomic particle. Yatagama nipadi, this is the third characteristic. It means the mind can travel to anywhere on anything it wants. You may be sitting in your room in Missouri, St. Louis, but your mind can travel to New York. It can travel to Europe, London, Paris, and Rome. It can travel to Beijing and Bangkok and Singapore within a fraction of a second. This is how it can travel so fast and so rapid. Altogether, we have the three characteristics of the mind mentioned by the Buddha more than 25 centuries ago. You will be very amazed what the Buddha has said. It is always, you will see it's ahead of the modern psychologists. Buddha mentioned the characteristic of the mind in a very exact and very practical terms, not in theoretical terms. Then Buddha continued to mention now let me quote the next Pali word, Chittasa. Chittasa means the mind, such as the mind. Dhammato means training in taming. Taming such a mind and training such a mind. Sadhu. Sadhu means very, very good. So let me translate this more easily, more literally, so that you can understand. Training of the mind, which is very difficult to manage, which used to arise so quickly and so fast manner, which used to travel anywhere, any part, on any object, whatever it like. It is really good and very beneficial. Why? Jaidan, Dandan, Sukhawa. These are the last paragraph in this verse. Jaidan, Dandan, training mind. Jaidan means the way, the mind. Dandan means well trained. Well trained mind or the day mind. Sukha Waham. Sukha Awaham. Sukha Awaham. You have to separate as two words. Sukha Awaham. A compound noun. Sukha means happiness. Awaham means it can bring joy and peace. The training mind can bring joy and happiness. That's why training of such a difficult mind, such a fast mind is very beneficial. These words are resonating with the truth. They point what Buddha's teaching means for everyone. Mental training, mental development is the key for peace and joy in a very busy life, in such very busy and worrying and scary life. We have to train the mind, that's what Buddha said. But it does not mean you have to stay in your room and you have to be like a monk, You have to be like a bhikkhuni in your own, because you are already married to someone, you have a family, you have children, you are living a layman's life. You have to do as layman's do. You have to, and you are living, you have to take care of your family, you have to support family, you have to support yourself. And this is also necessary. This is a real reality. Buddha never asked you to be a monk, to be a bhikkhuni. He just only point out the important things necessary for all of us to live a peaceful life, a happy life. Otherwise, it is very troublesome. It's very hectic and full of stress and full of many problems. So I hope I have explained you this Pali verse so that you can appreciate the Buddha's teaching in a very simple way. Now let's go ahead to next page. Next page. So these words of the Buddha are self-evident and descriptive about the fundamental nature of the mind. It also points out the critical need to train the mind. So we have to uh, run through these pages so that you got the point. You got the point set by the Buddha. We are living in today's world where a lot of the technological advance are wonderful. It brings a lot of wonderful benefits and convenience. And in this paragraph, which began with the endurance war, in this page, technical advance in science such as internet, smartphone, have made communication and entertainment more effective and more easily accessible for everyone in the society. This is a great advantage and wonderful invention for human society for further progress, but it also brings some unintended negative effects for human mind, such as constant bombardment with a distraction, enormous flow of information regarding various things, and a lot of things coming up. So what we should know is that the mind and mental management is necessary part of our life. We must aware this fact. Without it, our mind can cause problem. Our mind can run well on many parts, on many things. So we have to manage the mind. Now, let's read through the psychophysical disorders. Anxiety and fear. I think I need to explain this a little more because we have anxiety and fear. Some anxiety and fear are with reason. Some are without reason. So those with the reason, we have to improve the reason. We have to try to find the reason and we have to overcome it and improve it. We have to stay away from the reason. So sometimes anxiety and fear without reason, we have to practice meditation. We have to train the mind. Now, number two, impulse control disorder and various kinds of addiction. This is also a big problem in today's time among the people, a lot of people. They have certain kind of the addiction and impulse, they cannot control their impulse. This can be overcome by developing strong mind and strong self-control. But it will take a lot of time to train the mind, to educate oneself how to handle such kind of impulse control. I want to share one example. In today's time, we have the technological gadgets such as internet and smartphone. Some people stay they cannot stay away from the internet. They are very much addicted to internet. They are very much addicted to their smartphone. They constantly check on whenever the message ring, message come up. Um, in this case, they have to have the relaxed attitude unless they are the boss of the big boss of the company or a head of the particular department, a particular business, they have to have a relaxed attitude, and they have to think about the need and the urgent needs. For urgent need, they have to check the message on internet. But for those like ordinary people, they have to have some sort of the certain time frame and certain purpose. If the purpose of checking the news is for temporary, just check the news, but it causes a lot of distraction. And talking with the friends, chatting with a friend, or certain things, certain specific thing is okay, but talking all the time, using the phone all the time, no good. So you have to check yourself, the benefits, necessity, and urgency of the any action you are going to do regarding such kind of the technical stuff. And now number 3, obsessive compulsive disorder. And even though it's written in OCD, actually this is just only attachment or some sort of the mental condition which are obsessed with some sort of the cleanness in today's time with the binary situation in such a scary state. People are very much unsettled in many ways. They use a lot of wipes, they use a lot of sanitizers. They are worried about the virus. So we need to have a relaxed attitude. What kind of relaxed attitude we should have? We have to do every precautionary act, but we should not be concerned with the fear and obsessive uh, thinking. We have to have relaxed attitude. Having relaxed attitudes is more important. In this case, the ancient people have a one principle. This kind of principle, faith in your power, faith in your power, faith in your power of good karma. And those who believe in God and those who believe in religion, they just place their faith in the Buddha or in the God, their good karma. As long as their good karma is there in life, that good karma will keep us alive. If the karma is already exhausted for this life, then then we can get over. We can get over. I have this kind of attitudes because today's situation is a big reminder for all of us. It reminds all human beings that even though human beings have made great progress in many, many ways, nature has the final say. Nature is more powerful. The art, it is wonderful natural atmosphere and natural system is more powerful than human being. It can keep everyone locked down. It can keep everyone scared of their own life in such uncertain situation. It clearly remains as you are not the boss. I have my own power. As if nature is saying like this, it's behaving like this. So this clearly reminds us our fragility and vulnerability that anything can happen, anything might happen, even though we are worried, even though we are not worried, even though we are scared, or even though we are not scared. So let it be. This is the more simple way to put. If we have this kind of relaxed attitude, but we need to be precaution. We need to use precaution. We cannot uh, we cannot risk the rules and regulations imposed by the medical professionals and governments. And what I'm saying is that we have to have a relaxed attitude do whatever is necessary according to your condition, but at the same time, be relaxed. Cultivate a relaxed attitude that things will be okay because you are good karma and will take care you will take care of your situation, and so you have to use your own wisdom and your own relaxed attitude to overcome the OCD. Now, number 4, PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. This used to happen to people who have been through in a very bad violent situation such as war or some sort of the criminal act and loss of the money or loss of blood one in their life in a tragic accident, etc. I have a one person who lost the whole family. They are altogether 8 members of the family who live in the same household in the year 2007 when the nuggets, the stone nugget strikes in the coast of the Bahamas and Andaman Sea, all the delta areas wipe out. Among them is one of my uh, devotees, friends. He lost the whole household. He lost the whole household. He cannot sleep. He cannot eat. He cannot even remember how to eat. But later on, fortunately, he regained his normal consciousness. When he regained his normal consciousness, he feel inexpressible sadness and grief. At first, he find it very difficult to cope with the situation. He find it difficult to accept that all his blood family members are gone, perished in this natural disaster. But he fortunately received uh, good advice of a monk. So he start practicing meditation day and night. All his physical needs, such as food and lodgings, are taken care of by the monk. Then he come back. He is now a changed man. He become very peaceful, serene, and his pace, and he can live life now very normal way and very peaceful way. Most of the time he practice meditation, he do good things for other people and for himself. He is volunteering in good social organizations now. So that's how he was able to cope with the post-traumatic stress disorder. So there are different kind of techniques applying by the different people in today's world. So PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, is also a big problem. It is a trauma not only in the body, but in the mind. Trauma which happens in the mind is very difficult to cure, very difficult to remove. The only thing which can remove it is only through meditation, only through proper understanding of how the mind works, how to manage it, how to overcome the kind of mental trauma. Okay, now next page. Next page. Now psychosis. Psychosis, schizophrenia, schizophrenias, and hallucinations. This is a mental disorder. I have visited to the mental hospitals in Burma and Singapore. There are a lot of the very sad patients who have mental problems such as schizophrenia and hallucinations. This kind of mental condition used to arise for some people, sometimes without reason. They never have any kind of tragic situation. They never experience. One of my close devotees, brother, he has a schizophrenia. He lives in California. He comes from a quite well-off family. He's about, let's say, 35 and 35 years old guy, a very handsome guy, but he got schizophrenia for no reason, no genetic, no DNA heritage. His fathers are okay, his families are okay, only himself. We don't know why this happened. But the only problem, the only cause which we can find is he doesn't do proper mental training such as meditation and relaxed attitude. He just only focus on other people. Focus on other people, such as this person is looking at me, this person is talking about me, this person is gossiping about me, etc. He just think about other people. He's never think about himself. So this way, he got a big problem with the mind. He still have mental problem, but he doesn't accept he suffer mental problem. He cannot walk. Only his sister, one of my close devotee, is supporting her brother and living in the same household with them, the mother. So it's very strange. In such situation, it may be some sort of the residual effect of the past karma. His physical conditions are very healthy. He can eat, he can sleep normally, but he had this problem. But for some people in the mental hospital, some people have poor bodily health since they come from the poor family. Some of them come from the well-off family. They still have the problem. In this case, the mind is having some sort of the short circuit like electric wires. In this case, it's very difficult to seek the treatment. In Burma, there are some monks who are very well known for giving treatment to the such kind of people. What they do is they just used to give some sort of the physical work, such as the regularly sweeping of the temple compound and regularly filling of the water in the drinking water pots, and regularly watering of the garden. Um, they are given such kind of manual tests, and this way they keep all those kind of people engaged in particular kind of action. And 3 times every day, they have to come and group meditation and group chanting, and the monk also give them medicine. Some of them, they got cure. Some of them, they got relief. So it's interesting. The way of the treatment method differs from one institution to another institution. In the mental hospital, they give the drugs, chemically prepared manufactured drugs. Those kind of drugs are good because they can provide temporary relief, but they cannot totally cure. So chemical medicine, spiritual medicine, work medicine, um, all can be used as a therapy for the schizophrenia. But sometimes there's a very strange thing I want to tell you. You may not accept it. Uh, I found some people with a schizophrenia, they sometimes their mind is not normal. Their mind is overtaken by external force. This used to happen in some people. I found one of the experience while I was in Burma was a lady who was possessed by the spirit. When the spirit come and possess her, she behaved very strange thing. She starts speaking in other dialect, other language, and she's sometimes even speak. unusual way. But when such kind of external force disappear, she become ordinary, normal. So in such case, Western medicine will not accept it. Western medicine will not accept it. In the Eastern Asian society, they accept it. Sometimes schizophrenia and hallucinations are caused by the external forces. Sometimes the mind itself is the cause. The mind itself is the cause. So the mind is very complex in the way it functions. The only way we can overcome mental problem and complex functioning of the mind is we need to have very strong, very deep understanding that this is only impermanent phenomena of the mind, which is free from me and mine, which is free from Rova, which is free from Jenny, which is free from Cherry, etc. It's only mental element. You just observe with the mindfulness meditation and all those kind of uh, apprehension, all those kind of hallucination, schizophrenic thoughts will disappear. This is what I want to say as a last way of the treatment for the schizophrenia to go to work on such kind of complex mental appearance, mental vision. We have to understand that the mind is just only impermanent phenomena, like the air we breathe in. The air we breathe in, the air we breathe out, we are not clinging to it. Oh, this air is very wonderful. This air provides me with the very important source of life. We don't attach to it. Instead, we just let go. We just let go. We also see the emptiness in Buddhist text. The teaching of emptiness is very, very important. Most people in the Western society and the Asian society as well, they are very much afraid to hear the word empty. Whenever they hear empty, they want to run away because they don't want to accept. In Buddhist text, the emptiness is the highest teaching. Buddha said in one of the discourse, look at this wall, look at this wall. You see wonderful mountain, snow-capped mountain, wonderful oceans, wonderful mountain springs, wonderful rivers, wonderful flowers, even wonderful yourself. Look at everything. Everything's wonderful. But everything is in a constant state of change. If you look at the wall, Buddha said, everything is empty of me and mine. Even though we can use me and mine, Rova and Jenny, we can communicate, we can use this kind of conventional time and conventional wisdom, conventional thinking. We can use it safely, but on the highest, ultimate level of the truth, Buddha said emptiness. To clearly, to make the point, Buddha said, look at this wall from 100 miles up above the sky. You see this wall like a spherical shape, spherical shape like a wall hanging precariously on the empty space. On the empty space, this physical wall, this planet Earth exists like a Chinese lantern in Chinese New Year, hanging on the eaves of every household. In the Chinese lantern, you can see the rows and the string which are used to hang. But for this, our planet Earth, from the 100 miles above the sky, you cannot see any kind of ropes. You can see only the empty space around it, surrounding that circle shape of the Earth. So this Earth is located on empty space. It's precarious, but we are lucky. Don't worry. Nothing will happen. Everything will be okay, even though we have the COVID. Okay, now let's have a break. Later we can continue. We can resume our class. Okay, let's have a break now. Mhm. Okay, now let's continue. Hello, everybody. And now, hello.
We're here.
Okay, now let's resume our class. I have already talked about some aspect of emptiness regarding the mental disease, especially schizophrenia and psychosis. This teaching of the emptiness is intended for liberating the mind from the persistent mental pains and suffering and persistent mental attachments. Once a person accepts emptiness, the mind and intellect become liberated from the frequent incidents of the defilements and emotions. Because a person who deeply understood the emptiness clearly accept that there is no permanent, no strong, solid nature of mental phenomena. Regarding emptiness, Buddha has taught at the great length in the middle scenes of the discourses. They are very profound and also um, very wonderful to understand, to study, to apply in daily life. Now let's continue the depression. Depression, nowadays we have this problem among many people from all walks of life. Why depression happen? The basic reason is the mind just burn out, a burn out mind, a fatigued mind. Mental fatigue is a very simple word to use in this case. Most people, they understand physical fatigue. They feel very tired. They feel weak in their physical body. People only understand bodily fatigue and bodily weakness. The mind has its own point, like the string of the material. The string of material in the aeroplanes, they have certain limit of time frame and wear and tear tolerance. They have to check small, even small nets, all the smallest part of the machine and small parts of the aeroplane, so that they can check material stress of the thing. In the same way, our mind has stress point. If one situation reach stress point, for example, sadness, in this case, if the sadness and grief become too severe, the mind can no longer bear the pressure or the emotion. It bursts out. Then it began a very persistent feeling of sadness. Even the person himself or herself cannot notice it. Slowly, that person start losing sleep and losing interest in daily things. Slowly, he became very much withdrawn and resigned. He doesn't want to get involved in everyday social interaction and everyday routine. He cannot feel joy in everyday existence. This is how depression comes up. Only a person who have been through such situation, such as the loss of the property or money, a business, or the loss of loved ones, or sometimes the things happening against one's wish, burdens of life, can cause depression. This is one cause. Another cause is restless nature of the mind. It is the nature of the mind to be restless. But nowadays, people intentionally cause this mental restlessness by surfing online on different kind of thing, chatting on the instant messaging or chatting on the telephone, using a lot of time on the Facebook, not doing any essential things in their daily life as required by their profession in their life. If they are responsible, use such kind of uh, thing in a very responsible way, the mind become more restless, and the results are very negative and very harmful for the physical health. People who are addicted to using such kind of technical stuff, Facebook, instant messaging all the time without uh, compelling reason, they become more restless. Later on, the mind become like a fatigue and they got depression. One practical incident is about a boy which have been in our community. The parents, the parents are busy. They have to go to work. They have only one son. They leave the son during the school holidays with the videos and with the TV, and the child only watch Batman and some kind of similar thing. So later he became uh, he developed wrong notion that he's a bad man. He start talking, he start behaving like a bad man. And the parents only after that start knowing that their boy is now having mental problem due to constant watching of the TV, constant watching of the games and this Batman TV, Batman movie. So they have to go to the doctor, see the doctor. Then they have to get the necessary treatment. This is the one incident happening in our community. So sometimes watching such kind of the TV stuff and Facebook stuff is very much distracting, and it creates more confusion for the mind, more mental restlessness. So depression come up as a result. So I see all my life depression happens strong due to strong tragic accidents, tragic problems, and sometimes it happens due to the constant mental restlessness. So what about the cause? We have to aware that depression is not a disease. It is a mental problem. We can improve depression only by means of mental training. Some mental depression, antidepressant drug prescribed by the doctors are okay. They are for short-term relief. They are not for long-term relief. People who are dependent on such kind of the antidepressants, they have more unnecessary side effect and more negative effects. The best way is to engage in particular kind of daily action such as social service, volunteer work, and daily meditation, daily physical exercise. This is just only a general uh, recommendations. I'm not a professional in this case. We are only talking about some possible and beneficial methods to overcome them. Now, Let's talk about the bipolar disorder. Bipolar disorder is very uh, strange condition which used to happen to people. Mostly this happened to people with weak mental states. Sometimes it happens to some ladies, and sometimes it happens to some uh, male people. So even though it is a bipolar disorder, it is only mental situation, but combined with the bodily situation. The body need to have the new energy, necessary nutrients, necessary exercise, necessary cycle of the nature, such as this bowel action, and for the both for male and female, they need to have uh, consistent, regular physical cycles, such as the waste disposal, body waste disposal, and other body fluids. These are also very important. Also, they need to have the regular sleep. If one cannot get the sleep well, once bodily natural cycles are out of order, then a lot of problems happen. Now dementia. Let's go ahead to the dementia. Dementia is also very strange problem. It used to happen to only people who are already past 50 or 60, but in a very special case, I have found one of our devotees' wife. She's only much younger than me. She's I think 5 years younger than me. She got dementia. Her husband has to take care of her. Now they have even moved back to the um, Myanmar from USA. They are quite well off. The husband is doctor, wife is also a doctor. They earn quite a good salary, but they have to move back because of the dementia of the wife. When this happened, it's very interesting. She cannot remember her name. She cannot even remember the Indian time. She became like a baby. It's very sad to see. Slowly going down, slowly going down in front of our eyes. So why this happen? There are multiple factors. But from spiritual perspective, one possible reason is that she's not interested. She's not interested in any kind of mental relaxation or mental management. She never practiced meditation all her life. She just only struggle for the money, work for the money, then trying to establish herself in the American society, to get a good job, to get house, and to get paid all the mortgage, to take care of the only son she got. You know, everything she can achieve. Her son become a doctor, but the problem is that when she start reaching 58 and 59, she starts showing the sign of dementia. Then her husband, instead of choosing the meditation, he chose the medical treatment by use of the drugs. So it doesn't improve. It cannot improve. So the situation getting worse and worse. Sometimes it may be due to the physical conditions in the brain and the body, but sometimes it may be due to the mental restlessness all the time. So whatever the cause, for the physical condition, we have to have the balanced food, healthy diet, healthy lifestyle, such as regular sleeping, regular eating time, and regular daily exercise, and taking everything in life in a relaxed attitude, not with a very serious attitude. This is very, very important. And also, we need to have a relaxed attitude in everything in life. Everything in life, we are just only living this life in temporary existence. Nothing is permanent. We are not going to be related to anyone on permanent contract. We are related to each other as brothers, sisters, fathers, mothers, wives, and husbands, and sons, and aunties, and aunts, etc. And boss, and employee, employer, supervisor, etc. All these relationships are temporary. We just need to develop let go, the feeling of letting go, an attitude of letting go. This is very important. And at the same time, we need to nurture our mind through meditation. This way, we can have more strong mental condition, which is resilient, which is calm, even though the mind may be sometimes fluttering around this on this and that. A few days ago, I received a message from someone in our community that she mentioned that she's she find it very difficult to sleep at the night time. So I said, don't watch TV at least 1 hour before you go to bed. Instead, you just devote most of the time after you come back from home, come from your work, just do whatever necessary and relax, enjoy yourself, your rest, and then practice meditation, um, practice mindfulness meditation. This is very good treatment for the sleep disorder. Even though the medication, sleep medication is good for temporary relief, for instant relief, but long-term relief, you have to rely on the spiritual training and spiritual medicine. So I want to uh, recommend you regarding dementia. This may be happen due to physical cause and mental cause. For physical cause, we have to use physical means and physical improvement. For mental cause, we have to use our daily mental fitness, known as meditation. A daily dose of meditation, at least 15 minutes or 20 minutes every day. Keep your mind calm, and the object of the meditation, and any of meditation you choose, and then you just meditate, and slowly your mind will calm and relax. This way you can prevent dementia. Don't take everything into your heart and your mind very deeply. Don't take everything deeply into your mind, your heart. The more you try to take everything into your heart and your mind deeply, the more it creates more problem. More problem it will create. So you just take it, relax attitude and let it be and let go. Just let go. Okay, now let's proceed. Let's proceed to the treatment and respecters of mental disorder. Okay, now I have already explained all these things. The cause of mental disorder include individual attributes such as the ability or inability to manage one's mind, emotions, and bad persistent habits, addiction, bodily health condition, life such as incidents, lack of mental training and development are the contributing risk factor. Those whose minds are always caught up in the constant cycle of distraction can lead to more restlessness and agitation as a result of leading to various kinds of mental disorder. In addition to such mental condition, life's unexpected twists and turns or events and conditions, such as poor bodily health and living condition, can also contribute to mental disorder. So this is very simple. You already have the notes in this chapter. Please read through it and you just trying to note it, but don't pressure. This is a very relaxed training to enrich your mind, to enrich your knowledge. So never pressure yourself in learning this course. Okay, let's conclude this chapter. Now let's go ahead to the next chapter. I think we are proceeding very smoothly. Let's go to the Chaita Mano Vijnana, mind culture. Oh, worry and fear. Okay. Oh, worry and fear. Next chapter is a 12 worrying chapter. Let's go to the worrying chapter. Chapter 12. chapter 12. Please turn page chapter 12. Chapter 12. Okay, chapter 12. Good. I got it now. Now, let's study chapter 12, Worry and Fear. This chapter is also easy for you to understand because worry and fears are mental conditions. I hope some of you already read through this chapter. We are living in today's life, which is more relevant, full of fragility and vulnerability. When you read the news, we hear the sad news, even though we don't want to hear. We understand our fellow human beings are suffering in this virus infection. So what we need is we need to have a strong mind. In this chapter, in the beginning part, you see that we live a fragile and vulnerable life in this world. Sometimes things in our life turn against expectation and cherished wish. To make matters more complex and difficult, there are circumstances which are beyond our control and manageability. We have indeed become the victims of our own life. In such a scenario, then worry and fear used to come up as a result of being in such a situation. This is the way life is. It used to be like this. No one can change this pattern of life. Even though we all want to live life on our terms and conditions. Life has its own terms and conditions too. We must understand some of such terms and conditions of life. Now let me explain by quoting in this chapter, to quote a few profound words said by Buddha. Animata maninyata machana ida jivita. This is a very famous verse said by the Buddha in a Khuddaka Nikaya text. Animatans without sign. Animata is a Pali word. Means without. Nimeta means sign, predictable sign. Aninyada is a Pali word. Na inyada. Na means not. Inyada no. Without predictability, without knowability, misana of all beings, ida here in the world, zivida life, the life of the mortal here in this world is with unpredictability, with unknowability. Unpredictability and unknowability. In simple English, unpredictable and uncertain. These are basic elements of the Buddha, said by the Buddha. Basic elements of life is always unpredictable, always uncertain. So we have to rely on our faith. We have to rely on our wisdom. We have to rely on our gut. In this case, we have to rely on wisdom and faith. This discourse is very well known because it mentions about the basic nature of the life. Animata maninyata, unpredictable, uncertain. And now next verse, I want to quote, even though it is not shown here in this paper. Katirinsa paratinsa. Katirinsa, very hectic. Katira is Pali word. Kati means heck. Ra means which has hectic, full of the inconvenience. Paradise are short-lived, hectic and short-lived. Tensa dukkha tanyuta. Even that life is always being subject to constant transition. So these are the characteristics of life. Once you understand life in its basic fundamental element, you don't need to be afraid of it. You just accept it. You just need to go through the darkness of life with the light of wisdom, with the light of your faith. This is very important. The purpose of this course is to brighten your wisdom, to make your knowledge more strong and more grounded in the truth, so that you can cope with every situation of life. So, what we need to learn in this chapter is the basic aspect of life and the need to develop wisdom, the need to develop the skill and management skill, the ability to cope with such situations of life. Once you have this skill and this ability to cope with the situations of life, your life will be livable. Your life will be a peaceful one, a life well lived, a lifetime well spent, and which can lead you more to more happiness and more peace and more wisdom. This is the purpose of studying this chapter. So let's go ahead. Turn to next page. Okay, now 8 worldly conditions of life. This is very important. 8 worldly conditions of life. This very famous discourse of the Buddha. This discourse is very important for all of us so that we can understand the nature of our existing in our life. And this sutta is called the Loka Dhamma. Loka means life or the world. Dhamma means the way, the nature. The way of life, the nature of the world. And Buddha said, disciple, these 8 worldly conditions revolve around the world. The world too revolves around these 8 worldly conditions. What 8? Gain and loss. This is the first pair. Disrepute and fame. This is the second pair. Blame and praise. This is the third pair. Pleasure and pain. This is the fourth pair. Altogether, 8. 8 natures. 4 positive and 4 negative. Now, let me explain the first one, the first pair, gain and loss. In Pali, it's more simpler than in English. In Pali, it's called lava. Lava, this Pali word, comes from the root lava. Lava means to get what one wants, to get what one wish, to get what one hope, and what one expect. This is more simple. Not gaining of material wealth, not gaining of material thing. Getting whatever you want. This is the fast. And loss. In Pali is more simpler. The term in Pali is lava. Means not. Lava means getting, not getting what you want. So gain and loss, a little bit misleading. if compared to original Pali words. Original Pali word lava and alava, very simple. Lava, getting what you want. Alava, not getting what you want. Today, we want to see the whole this virus situation go and new drug, very effective drug come up so that people can go back to job, enjoy their life, and go back to their daily life again. We wish it, but we have to make a lot of effort in order to reach there. So lava, getting what one want, loss, alava, not getting what one want. These are two opposite of the same coin, same life. Two face of light. One is the bright face of light. The other is the dark face, dark side of life. We have to see both the bright and dark side of life. We cannot assume, we cannot take it granted there will be always light. There will be always darkness in the absence of light. So we have to accept it. Once you accept it, the dual nature of life, and you will be able to cope with situation. Okay, this is the explanation regarding the first pair. Now regarding the second pair, distribute and free. These two English translations are a little bit incomplete because the Pali word regarding this is called yes ayas. Yes interpreted as praying. Actually, not only praying. Yasa, the word yasa means the surroundings such as families, friends. Yasa also refer to such kind of the social surrounding, not only fame. So fame means companionship of good friends, good family members, good wife and good husband, and good son and good daughter, and good friends and good people who are always ready to help you, to support you. But some of those people in times of suffering, in times of the pain, they left because they don't want to share the pain. They don't want to share the suffering. There are a lot of fair weather friends. Even the wealthy person, very famous celebrity, sometimes lost of friends when he became a homeless person. So jasa means both fame and social surrounding, companionship. Everyone wants it, but sometimes we get it, we can get it, sometimes we cannot get it. And another word is called yasa. Means opposite or not. Yasa means fame, opposite of fame. Irrepute, notoriety, bad reputation. This is one meaning. The second meaning is being deserted by friends and family. No one to come around, no one to support without friend. This is what's called ayasa. In English translation, it is only interpreted as disrepute. So you have to understand the word yasa has two meanings. The first meaning is faith, good name, earning good name in the society. And second meaning is having good friends, good family members, good social surroundings. For example, if some of us are a billionaire or a president or prime minister of the country or a big company, we will be famous, we get a lot of following. But once become infamous for some sort of crime we may have committed, then all those friends go. All those friends gone, and we have to find ourselves deserted and lonely This is the way life is. Fame and social surroundings, sometimes you will have. Sometimes infamy, notoriety, and loneliness you will get. This is the second pair of the way life is. Even ourselves, as monk, when I'm living in the monastery in the USA, I live alone. Only on 10:30, people come and bring food. Then they left again about 12 o'clock. So most of the time I remain alone. I just find company of the Dhamma, meditation, the reading, and doing some good work and physical exercise. And this way I can find my good company of the Dhamma, good company of the war, etc. We need to overcome loneliness. Loneliness is the worst thing in the world. And also fame is also very dangerous. It can lead to many bad things. So we have to overcome both fame and disrepute and social surrounding companionship and loneliness in a right balanced way. Now let me explain it, the third pair, blame and praise. Blame and praise is very simple. They are English word. Nepali word is also very much the same. Nenda, pasansa. Nenda means being blamed, being sincere, being scolded by people. Praise, being praised by people. This is the way life is. This is very easy to understand. Now let me explain number four pair, pleasure and pain. Actually, this translation is not complete. Pali word is more simple and more easy, more broad. Pali word is sukha and dukkha. Sukha, joy, happiness. Dukkha, suffering. Sukha, happiness means bodily happiness, mental happiness, and caused by material well-being and good conditions in life. When we get what we want, we are happy. When we are living in material, good material condition, when our material needs are complete, and we are happy. We have the money, we have the house, we have regular income, we have a job, and we have a lot of good friends, good family members, etc. So we are happy. And suffering, when one of the gods which can cause suffering happen, then we feel suffering. This is called the dukkha. Dukkha suffering. Sukha and dukkha, happiness and unhappiness are the way of life. No one can escape. Even the billionaire, the most wealthy person, the most famous person in the world, cannot escape from this eight kind of natural experience of life. Everyone, including the Buddha, the enlightened holy saint, cannot escape this eight kind of life's experience. But there's a great difference between enlightened holy saints and non-enlightened ordinary person. Enlightened holy saints, they can live through bad situations of life without feeling pain, without feeling anguish in their mind. With a peaceful, calm, composed mind, they can live through. Ordinary people cannot live through bad situations of life. They just react and worry and fear, in shock, in sadness, or sometimes anger and frustration. We have a lot of different reaction when we have to live through bad situation. This is a great difference between enlightened saints and non-enlightened ordinary people. The purpose of learning this course and mental training is to develop the ability to cope with all the ups and downs of life, all good and bad situations of life. We have to remind ourselves the purpose of this course is to let us develop the mental nature and true wisdom that can guide us through all these kind of good and bad situations. This way we can navigate through all the narrow confine of life, sometimes in dire straits, sometimes in challenging zigzag conditions of life. So whatever comes, we need to be able to navigate through the course of life. This is what we are working here for. That's what we are studying for. Okay, let's turn to next page. Turn to next page, please. Okay. So this page, you have already, I hope you have already read through it. I have explained a few central themes and the purpose of the course. And the purpose of this discourse is also about it. Buddhas want to teach the disciple how to live life, how to cope with the different situations in life so that we can be good people who can be able to live life, to live through all situations. In light of the above sutta, it is the nature and the way of life to have good times and bad times, ups and downs which no one can escape. It is in fact like the high sea in the vast ocean, where unexpected heavy storm, occasional squalls along with terrible threatening waves can sink such a small fragile boat called human life anytime. In any circumstance, if we are careless, inexperienced, unskilled, and unprepared ahead of time, we need to be prepared and develop necessary skill, knowledge, and wisdom, and preparedness to navigate through all the unexpected twists and turns of life. We must be good sailors of life, ready for any condition and any challenge on the way. Being worried about this and that is quite natural and normal. But being overwhelmed and consumed by worry and fear is not. It is quite harmful and dangerous to keep worrying and fear all the time. We must not let it happen or accept it in our mind forever. This is just only a few points I would like to make in this paper. So I have already mentioned this. So let's go ahead to the next page. Overcoming worry and fear. Overcoming worry and fear. Okay, now. There are various types of worry and fear based on specific cause, and some are social cause, some are associated with the daily issues of life. For such types of worry and fear, the best way to deal with is to work out a realistic practical approach and find solution on the cause. For worry and fear without a specific cause, but rather based on non-real imagination, it is more suitable to find a psychological solution, such as a revamped psychiatric treatment and necessary training to change one's way of thinking. To be free from worry and fear is more suitable to develop strong and stable mental conditions by means of proper meditation and suitable method of mind training and development. Even though our solution, instant cure, is not assured, it will greatly help to relieve mental states of worry and fear if one regularly practice mind relaxation and mind training through a suitable method of meditation and reasonable thinking, along with more realistic, careful planning on the daily affair of life, using one's skillful strategies and common sense. To be totally free from worry and fear is to be enlightened like the holy saints, such as Buddha and others who had attained perfect enlightenment. I'm just only pointing out the practical points. As a worldling, we may not be able to totally free from worry and fear because, as I mentioned you in the early part of this chapter, We are sometimes the beating of our own conditions, our own life. Our conditions are unpredictable, it's changeable, depending on a lot of contributing factors. Nowadays, we are living in binary situation. We want to be free from such kind of situation. We don't want to live, but we cannot do that. It's beyond our control. It's a collective situation. And for personal situation, you can do something more definitely. In a collective situation, such as today's binary situation, it's hopeless. And we have to find our own shelter. Buddha said in one of the discourse, there are two universes in the world, Buddha said. It's very noteworthy. One is minor universe. Sometimes it may be referred to as microcosm. And the other is external universe. Internal universe is ourself. We are a small world. Our bodies, our five aggregates are a small world, a personal world. We are living in a personal world. We are living in microcosm. This is the one concept mentioned by the Buddha. External world are external things such as the families, the friends, and all the external surroundings, including this world, all atmospheric conditions, and all the outer planets, endless planets in the outer space. Because in Buddhism, Buddha taught about four infinities. I hope some of you may heard about four infinities taught by the Buddha in Buddhist texts. The first infinity in Buddhist text is called the Akaso Anando. It's space. Space is infinite and boundless. There's no way you can set boundary, you can set the limits of the space. So the space is boundless. It is one of the infinity. And the second infinity, according to Buddha, is the species of the living forms. There are many countless living forms of species on the planet, which are beyond mathematical calculation. This can be explained by using a sort of beehive or ant hill in the forest. In the Amazon forest, if you go out into Amazon forest, and here you can count a small ants, a small city of ants making a home in a big ant hill. There are a lot of species there inside, a lot of ants. It's very difficult to count. In this world, the species of life forms are endless. So this is called the second infinity. In Buddhist, it is called Sattva Anando. Sattva is a compound noun. Sattva means living species. Vaso is the abode of living species. Actually, not abode. Living species abode is endless. So this is the second infinite. The third infinity. Chakawalo Anando. This is the third infinity. Chakawalo means planetary system. Planetary system, including this earth, and its surrounding planets, which make a single planetary system. All such kind of planetary systems are endless in the world, in the outer space. This is what Buddha has said many years ago. Now the fourth infinity. The fourth infinity is called the Buddha Jnana Ananta. Buddha Jnana Ananta means the wisdom of the Buddha is also infinite. unmeasurable. The way and the method Buddha knows, the things Buddha knows are endless. The ability and the capacity of the Buddha's wisdom is endless, like the best oceans of the deepest point of the ocean, difficult to measure in terms of the feet, in terms of meters. So this is what is mentioned. There are four kind of infinities altogether. So I would like to emphasize here is to be totally free from fear and worry is achievable only by the holy saints. But we don't need to be disappointed. We have to strive on spiritual path so that our mind becomes well trained, well developed. Slowly, with the developed wisdom and developed knowledge and developed uh, mind, we can live through good and bad situations of life. We can slowly shake up our ego. We can reduce the incidence of emotions and mental defilements slowly, bit by bit, piece by piece, and we can eventually progress on the spiritual path. We don't need to get disappointed. We just only need to continue our spiritual path to reach that state. So this is what Buddha has said. Because long-term efforts bears noticeable significant results, especially mental development. Physical development is something you can see, something you can measure, something you can count, oh, today I make such kind of progress in the physical condition. For example, if you are going to do some sort of weight, reducing of the weight, or some physical fitness, you go to the fitness gyms and you do a physical exercise every day. You know how much you tone down, how much you increase your abs, and how much you improve your physical shapes, and how much you improve your muscle, etc. Because it's a body, material thing. In the spiritual progress, the mind is invisible, immaterial state, intangible phenomena. You cannot see how much progress you have made, but you can slowly notice it after making long-term effort. Regarding this effort, Buddha said by use of a metaphor. This metaphor is very wonderful. Buddha point out a carpenter. Disciple, look at the carpenters in his daily tool. He used wood chisel, he used saw, he used hammer, he used all these kind of implements and tools every day. He has to hold the handle, wooden handle of the wood chisel. Due to everyday repeated use of the implement, you can start seeing the finger marks on the wooden tool of the wood chisel. So wonderful. You see, finger marks, thumb mark, and little finger, middle finger marks. They become very clear and polished without any varnish, without any chemical outside agent, only due to daily handling of the wooden handle of the chisel. You start seeing the finger marks very beautifully engraved into the wooden handle. Look at this. In the same way, when you practice meditation, your mind slowly develop. You know how to handle, how to observe your anger, how to observe your thoughts and mental restlessness, how to observe your frustration, how to let it go. You will be able to slowly progress on the spiritual path. That's what Buddha has said. It's very wonderful, beautiful. So once we understand what Buddha has said regarding spiritual training and spiritual uh, process. We will be inspired, you will be inspired. So overcoming worry and fear is not lofty, high ideal. They are practical. They can be achieved by proper training of the mind. May all of you be able to achieve this spiritual goal of being free from worry and fear. May you progress on your study and on your spiritual training. Okay, now let's have a break. Let's have a break.
Okay, thank you, Pante. Yes, Sado.
Okay, now let's resume our class. But this time, we are not going to proceed to next chapter. And we are going to have clarification and some questions and answers so that you can clarify. So I would like to invite you to ask question if you want to clarify regarding what you have learned today. Hello, if you have a question, please feel free to ask question.
Yeah, it'll probably take a second to get questions formulated because they're probably some of them are going to be relayed, so they'll be typed out in the chat room.
So what we there's no one to ask the question, right?
If we can hang on just a second, I will get some questions together for you.
Oh, what happened? Did you get? Oh no!
Hello. Okay, if you have no question, we
Hang
can
on
go
just one
ahead to
second.
the next chapter.
I think there might be.
Sometimes connection is no good.
Can you clarify wrong views in 10 principled points, please?
10 principle view. Okay. 10 principle view. Let's go ahead. Let's go back to yesterday's chapter. Or selected discourse. Notes on the selected discourse.
Did you want me to bring up?
So the question is regarding 10 principal points. Wrong views and right views in 10 principal points, right?
Did you hear me? That was correct.
Hello, Corey. What is the question? Someone asked me 10 points. 10 points of the Baltic. 10 points of Baltic or 10 points wrong view or right view? Okay, then we have to take this, the notes on syllabic text, not on the course book. Notes on syllabic text. Syllabic Sutta to study on Anguttara Nikaya. Item number 4, the book of 3. The book of 3. No, not this course book. Okay, now the book of 3. The book of 3. Item number 4. The book of 3.
Yeah, book of 3.
Yes, book of 3. Yes, yes. Slowly coming up. 4. Yes, yes. Yes, that's one. That's the one we are talking. Okay, here. Okay. Okay, just go next page. Next page. Next page. Okay, here. Stop. Okay. Okay, now here. Got it. Okay, now we have the 10 principle based right views and wrong views. First of all, I would like to explain the wrong view 10 principal points. The first one is called there is no effect, no positive result of charitable deed. It rejects good consequence, positive benefits of charitable deeds. Briefly, it doesn't accept charity. Charity is unnecessary then for people who hold this view. Number 2, there's no good effect of any sacrifice or offering which are done based on faith. No good effect of faith-based offering. This means that there's no positive benefit of religious faith-based offering. It accepts any good deed based on religious belief. And number 3, there's no good effect of hospitality. Hospitality to guests, to the strangers. So it rejects the practice of social courtesy. Number 4, no consequence, good or bad consequence of any action. This rejects the law of karma. So In brief, this means that we are entitled, we are free to do whatever we want. Good thing, bad thing, just be free. Do whatever one want. Because there are no effects, no bad result of bad action, no good result of good action. So it rejects the result of any action, any karma. This is number 4 wrong view. Number 5 wrong views is there's no sanctity of current life. In Buddhist text, Buddha mentioned that nati ayan loko. Nati means there's no. Ayan loko means this life. There is no this life. This life is just only an accident which happened by chance, which happened by union of mother and father. So this does not accept any sanctity of life. This is number 5 wrong view, the 5th wrong view. Number 6, nati prologo. Nati means there's no. Prologo means the life beyond. There's no life beyond the current life. It doesn't accept afterlife. Like the way it doesn't accept any kind of tomorrow. These are very profound explanations of the Buddha. Now, number 7th view, there is no sacred role of a mother. In Buddhist, it's called nati mada, just only very simple. There's no role of the mother. It rejects the significant role of the mother, played by a mother in bringing a person's life into this world. This is number 7th. Now, number 8, nati pita. There's no father. It rejects the significant role of the father. Instead, it just only accepts ordinary people who just only unite and cause a person's life to be born. In the 9th, in Buddhist text, Pali word is more simple and more direct. In Pali, it's called nati satta or papadika. Nati, there are no. Satta means being, living beings. Upapadika, spontaneous. There are no people of spontaneous appearance or spontaneous birth, such as the ghosts or the divine beings or the devils or the demons, etc. It doesn't accept any kind of supernatural being, which we cannot see, which we cannot communicate, even though they may exist. In this view, it does not accept the existence of those kind of heavenly beings in the heaven and the beings in the ghost world and all those departed ones. This is a number 9. I want to explain you practical incident happened quite soon, quite shortly. Yesterday morning, I received a call from Burma, from my student. He just asked me what to do because he has a problem. His problem is that one of his friends passed away the dead person is about 78 years old, 58 years old. He passed away of cancer, prostate cancer. He just come to visit him already 2 times. He saw his friend coming and walking up and down in front of him. He feels scared. He doesn't know what to do. So what he is doing now is he just called 2 of his assistants to come and stay with him and sleep in the same place. So he asked me guidance what to do. Then I explained him that what you need to do is just only share the meritorious deed and speak out loudly when you see your friend coming and walking near you. You don't need to be afraid. He just come because he would like to say something to you. He need your help. I also explained to him that maybe he has some sort of important possession under your care. When I mentioned him, he replied, yes, he has. And what do you have? He has 2 bank account books. 2 bank account books. One is about, let's say, 15,000. Another account, he has the 500,000 belonging to his dead friend. So I explained him, you just take out those 2 books. One of the books, small amount of the money, you just do meritorious deed. Just larger amount of money, you just return to one of his family members so that they can do something good for him. I just explained to him, but I haven't received a second call from him. So what I want to say is that he saw his dead friend who passed away a few days ago coming back to his place. Actually, he passed away in a place in Upper Burma, about 750 miles to the northwest of the Yangon, quite far. And his body was cremated in that place. But he came back. He saw with his own eye very clearly. This is a practical incident happened quite recently to one of my students. So there are spontaneous beings which appear out of blue, but if you're trying to communicate, if you're trying to get near to them, you cannot grab them like the way you can grab the ordinary your human friend. So such kind of people are living beings are called the opatika. Opa means closely, nearby. Patik means to fall down from out of nowhere. Some living being who fall down near you out of nowhere, but they disappear the moment you approach them, the moment you try to talk with them. You cannot hear their voice because they are living in other dimensions of life. Their physical forms are different from ours. So we cannot. I have also this kind of experience for a number of times. So number 9 aspect rejects the existence of the non-human being, such as the departed one, those in the heaven, those in the ghost world, those belonging to non-human world. And number 10 fact is there are no holy saints. There are no holy ascetic monks who live by a life, who practice, who achieve spiritual progress, who develop the psychic capabilities by means of which they can see non-human beings. Altogether, these are 10 points of the wrong view. Opposite of this is 10 right view. You can study on the view accomplishment. Here, item number 3, head, and then next paragraph, next to the third paragraph. And then number 3, view accomplishment. In the view accomplishment, I explained you in the note, holding some of the right views in 10 principle point. The first one is there is positive effect of charity. It accepts the good benefits of charitable deeds. You have to perform charitable deed in this right view because it has good consequence. And the second is there is good effect of faith-based offering. Faith-based offering are many kinds. There are many kinds of faith-based offering. Even before the time of the Buddha, in the ancient India, there are 2 kinds of offering. One is offering of non-living things such as flowers, fruit, ghee, butter, honey, fruit, all those harmless stuff without killing any live animal. This is the first kind of offering based on religious belief. Second kind of offering is sacrifice of the animal, live animal, including human being. Live animals such as chicken, goats, sheep, cows, buffaloes, etc. Even small birds, they offer to some sort of deities or some sort of spirit. Sometimes they even
Did everyone lose him or just me?
hello, hello.
We
Can you hear
lost you for a
me?
second.
Can you hear me? Can
Yes.
you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello. Okay, now let me explain. Let me explain you the number 3, faith-based offering. There are 2 kinds. There are 2 kinds. One is a offering of the food, fruit, also the ghee, butter, honey, etc. This is quite harmless. And the other one is offering or sacrifice of live animal or sacrifice of live animal after killing, then they offer with the raw food and sometimes the roasted food. Sometimes they even use the human beings. They sacrifice human being, killing a human being, and they offer the meat of the human flesh to the deity. So there are 2 kinds of offering. One is harmless offering. The other is very harmful, live animal sacrifice. And how and why they offer? Because they want to get their good fortune. They want to appreciate their good fortune from the deity to their God. So they offer. In Buddhist text, offering of food, fruit, and non-living things is harmless. It also can bring some sort of results. But the offering of live animal and killing them and offering is a very different one. Buddha does not accept it, even though people use it. Nowadays, you see the different kind of religion, they use the animal sacrifice. You see every year in the big festival, yearly festival, a lot of cows are butchered and to sacrifice. This kind of sacrifice is still practiced. So in Buddhism, in Buddhist teaching, faith-based offering, which is harmless, is the offering of the food, prepared food, butter, flowers, honey, etc. They are harmless and also they are acceptable. But the offering of live animal is against Buddha's teaching. So number 3, there is a good effect, good benefit of the hospitality. Hospitality means when someone comes to visit your house, you treat your guests, such as by offering food, by offering something and to drink, something to eat, by offering a plate. This kind of action is based on goodwill. Sometimes even you meet strangers on the way who may need some sort of help. You just do something out of goodwill. Then this is called hospitality. In Pali, it's called ahumya. Huda. Huda means just hospitality. There's a good effect of hospitality. So it accepts the good consequence of the hospitable act. Number 4, there are good, bad effect of all the action. Good result for good action, and bad result for bad action. Briefly, it is the law of karma. You have to accept the teaching of karma in order to have the right view. And number 5, the sanctity of current life. You have to accept this life as a blessing. We have to accept this life as a blessing, as a wonderful opportunity, as a wonderful privilege, which is so wonderful and so precious that we must use it. We must use it in a very meaningful way, not by living it up casually. So this is what it means. You have to accept sanctity of current life as a blessing, as a wonderful opportunity to do good deeds, good action for benefit of oneself, for the benefit of the family, for the benefit of the fellow human being. In Buddhist text, our human life is compared to crossroad. In the crossroad, in the interjunction, you can choose any path you want. Are we going to choose the path to heaven? Are we going to choose the path to hell and downpour? Are we going to choose the path to the highest place of liberation, to attain nibbana, to attain spiritual bliss? So it is up to us. That's why Buddha said, human life, the current human life is like the very important crossroads. You have to make the right choice and the right path so that you will get wonderful benefits. Now, number 6, afterlife. Afterlife is a metaphysical issue. We cannot see it in material form, the existing afterlife. Like the way we cannot see tomorrow. Tomorrow is a concept of time. A reference term to the future, which we used to refer to as a tomorrow. It is not really in practical physical existence. Only when we wake up next day, we experience our physical surrounding. but we refer to it as yes, tomorrow. But once we are in tomorrow, in practical existence, we call it today. In the same way, life is continuous. Time is interrelated, correlative experience. Present life, afterlife, the past lives are three connecting dots. In Buddhist text, it is compared to edge. English word edge, E-D-G-E, edge, or the barge. This current life has two edges. One is the past edge, and another is future edge. In more simple English, to simply put, to simply explain, we have two dots. This current life has two missing dots. The past missing dot is the past life. And the second missing dot is unknown dot of the future. All these serve as the connection or the present with the past. Connection of the present with the future. So these two dots are unknowable for ordinary people. Even though there may be billions and billions of people who are living in this world, who have lived in this world, there are no one who know these two missing dots except the Buddha. In Buddhist text, it is referred to as Ubo Ante Asampatan. Ubo Ante Asampatan. Ubo means twin, Ante means edge, Asampasan, not knowing, not being able to know these two edges. Human beings search for the answer. Human beings cry when they are faced with loss. This is what is said in the Buddhist text, said by the Buddha. So we have to understand there are two missing dots, two missing links of the present life, the past one and the future one. In Buddhist text, and life has two missing dots. Afterlife is future missing dots. Buddha teach about that, the existence of the future dot. We cannot neglect, Buddha said, the connection of this present with the past as well as with the future. The future is called the afterlife or reward, while in the past life is called the past life. We have this mysterious connection. That's why Buddha said in one of the discourse, human beings are like the mysterious passengers and travelers on the journey of unknown. The way they don't know the source they come from. They don't know where they are heading to after this life is done. It's full of mysteries. Only after Buddha attained perfect enlightenment, he clearly understand. He clearly start teaching about the existence of the past life and the future life, not only present life. In other religion, they cannot accept the existence of the afterlife. And they cannot accept the existence of the past life. Only in Buddhism, in Hinduism, the existence of the past life and future life is accepted as a metaphysical truth. In order to show an evidence of this, I would like to explain you a very simple explanation. The first one is regarding the connection of the today with the yesterday and tomorrow. The second one is by checking on yourself, checking on ourselves. How we have to check ourselves out. If you look at yourself, especially on your physical body, and particularly in this case, your hand. If you open up your hand, on your palm, you see different lines. The line of faith, the line of life, the line of wisdom, and the line of heart, the line of marriage, the line of influence, everything. I'm not expert on palmistry, but I have some basic knowledge about the palmistry. If you look at on your own palm, you see very different patterns of those signs. Even in the same household, you can see this. Nobody is always the same. Everybody has different patterns. This shows, according to Buddhist text, the people have lived their past lives. Based on their past action, they have different signs. I have one friend. But he passed away in a very, very tragic situation. He's my best friend. Around 1986, by chance, I have a chance to look at his palm. Then I saw very shocking pattern on his both palm, right palms and left palm. The line of life is very terrible. At the one point, there's a cut. There's no support line. Then I calculate in my mind, maybe about 49. During that time, he's 46. So I told him, please don't go out if you have to travel during the 47 and 49, because your situation is very precarious during that time. He doesn't accept. Then he tried to travel. He tried to come to United States and live in California and Los Angeles. He got into a very tragic gunshot accident. He just died. A few months after he settled down in California, I had the news. I feel so sad. I don't know what to do. But I have already mentioned about this. He doesn't accept my good advice. So what happened is what happened. We cannot undo. It cannot be undone. So past karma, in order to accept the past life, we have to check our palm. We see our different lines of the marks on our palm. We cannot know complete meaning of we cannot interpret. We have no ability. But they explain some sort of the link of our present life with the past. Our mother, our father cannot write it, those signs on our palm. Nobody can do it. Only our action. They are just only signs of our action. Sometimes I used to refer to our devotees. You don't need to have receipt books for any donations. They just look at me. Why? Well, your spirit itself is a good record, a good hard disk. Your spiritual flow will record your good action and bad action. And your receipt book is in your palm. You can see what you have done, what you have not done. Good thing and bad thing are all recorded in your palms. So they feel relax when I say this. And what I want to say here now is that in Buddhist teaching, the round views are based on the 10 points and not based on any kind of narrow confine. For example, in other religion, anyone who don't believe in their religion, who don't belong to their religion is sinner and heathen, and his future is the hell. They have such kind of narrow interpretation. In Buddhism, everyone, every human being is same. They will go according to their own karma. If they are good human being and with a good will, they are going to be reborn in the heaven. When they live life in a very bad way, doing bad things, their bad actions will lead them to the bad reward. So this is what we have to understand. What we have to understand is number 9 point. Now number 10 point. We have to accept the existence of the holy saints. Even though they may be rare, we have to accept they are holy saints and saintly people who live pious life and who have developed psychic power. Once you understand this 10 principle based right view, you will appreciate Buddha's teaching, how broad and how wonderful it is. It never based on any narrow confine, narrow limitations. By understanding this kind of broad Buddhist teaching, you will have right view. You will develop the right view slowly. You will try to develop more right understanding, to have the more right understanding. Okay, now let's conclude my explanation regarding 10 principle point right view and wrong view. Now let me answer the question. Now I have the question from David, page 40. Okay. When talking the nature of my dunikati, did you say dunikati? No dunikati. From David, dunikha. Do means difficult. Nika means to manage. Difficult to manage. Can you hear me? David, can you hear me? David, can you hear me?
I'm sure he can. Yes, he says he can.
Okay, and do nikha. Do means difficult. Nikha means to manage. The mind is basically difficult to manage. So difficult to manage is one characteristic of the mind. Now another question from Kai. The name of the sutra where Buddha talk about Panvridan. Okay, this is a very good question. Guy, this is a very good question. Panvridan is not in Buddhist text, but there is a very wonderful sutta about interpretation of the physical science of a person. That sutra, the name of that sutra is called Lakkhana Sutra. Lakkhana Sutra, the significant sign of the great human being. If you want to study it, I can give you the sutta name and page number. Sutta name is Lakkhana Sutta. It is called the long discourse, collection of long discourse, interpreted by and translated by Bhikkhu Bodhi, or also you can get it in the maybe library. It is published from the Pali Text Society in Wisdom publication from the Boston, Massachusetts. More question? Oh, by typing. Okay. How to do it? I don't know how to type it. Gary, please help me. I don't know how to type it. Where? Oh, okay. Type.
Just spell it word
Okay,
by
okay.
word.
Now I got it. I got it. Okay. Lakana Sutta. Okay, now you got it. Lakana Sutta. Okay, more question. Please feel free if you have more question. Because the time is already out. If you have no question, let's conclude. If you have no question, let's conclude.
Okay, Pante. So we can
Okay, may all the students in this course be blessed with good health, happiness, and safety, blessing, and wonderful wisdom to live every situations of life with a very peaceful, calm, composed mind. May you all live this life in a very wonderful way. May you attain peace and happiness and bliss of the supreme Nibbana.
Sadhu,
sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
sadhu.
Okay, bye. See you tomorrow.